Hi, everybody.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom.
Shalom.
Hello, Rabbi. It's interesting to see everybody like this in little boxes.
Kitty, how are you feeling? You had your second shot yesterday, right?
I did. Knock on wood. All good.
Good.
It was, easy peasy.
Okay, now why don't I have a picture?
Somebody doesn't have a picture?
Zimmer Schuster doesn't have a picture. Oh, go on.
How are you, Sam?
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Good.
I'm so happy you're with us today. There was no way I was going to be able to present your great stuff. Thank God you're
I don't know why you don't have a picture.
I don't know.
Hello.
Here, look for video on the very bottom. Here,
I see it.
away.
so wonderful.
On the very bottom there. Yeah. What does that say? That says the number of the.
I had it right over there.
Okay, it's over here. This is the microphone.
Which one? The first one. What's
Yeah.
the second one?
Rabbi, I love your background.
I don't know what that
For Purim, yes. Thank you,
There he
Kitty.
is. That's us.
Lou Loomis, how is he doing?
What
Uh,
are you looking for?
knock wood. We haven't heard anything yet. His nothing to report. No change. That's all we know.
Who did I miss? Who's these?
Lou, repeat.
If he's going back on hospice starting Tuesday,
Oh,
and
okay.
we're not sure what I mean, he had his second shot and then slipped. And that he's bounced back before. We don't know. We just
Let
don't
me see if I can make it louder.
It's day to day, day by day.
Go look over on this side.
So
You couldn't see it,
I can see it over here.
but it's not. The one that had next to the microphone on the far left side.
No, I'll make it louder.
We're all getting to be Zoom experts,
There, see?
in a manner of speaking.
Novices anyway.
Yeah.
Steve Schuster, were you able to get a picture?
Tell me
Zimmer?
what that says. I can't see it. Here,
Hi,
that.
Stan.
I made it louder.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Hi, Davida.
Hi.
The picture here.
Hi, Shoshana. Good to see you.
Nice to see you.
No, you're this way. Where are you?
I'm over there.
Thank you, sweetie.
It's always wonderful when a plan comes together. We're also on our Facebook website. We're on the YouTube website. Everything is working. So that's good.
That's great.
Hello, Linda Tapper. Good to see
Hello
you.
Good to see
At the end of our service, Rabbi, if I could talk to you about a thing with Harvey's funeral.
Sure.
Okay. I don't want to interrupt our service.
Okay. And if it doesn't work after services, then we can always hook up a little bit later. Okay.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
Hi, Davida.
Hi, how are you?
While and everybody else, Stan and Paul and Jordan. I haven't seen you in a while.
Well, now I'm not afraid to be out in that because I finally got at least my first shot.
Oh, I'm getting my second tomorrow, so I'm happy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It always pays to be friendly with your pharmacist because Monday she just called me and said, I have a shot available. Get down here.
Whoa.
This is,
Very good.
Yeah, I got mine and I'm going to get tomorrow's at Cal State Northridge.
They
yeah,
do
we
it-
got ours at CSUN also about a week and 2 weeks ago.
Ah,
We're getting
We're
ours
ready
on
for our
Monday.
second shot now.
We're getting our
Uh-huh.
second
Sunday.
one on Monday at
oh,
CSUN.
so CSUN is the Pfizer, so it's 21 days.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, 20, yeah, we got it at the beginning of February. So it worked. It worked beautifully,
Yes,
beautifully.
it does.
CSUN,
does.
CSUN is so easy. And
Yeah.
I'm getting my second one on February 18th. And Bruce and I both are. So it's
Oh.
great.
It
Anyway,
was
That's very good.
amazing. You just, we had a 1 o'clock appointment. And so I figured our daughter made it for us. God bless her. And I said, yeah, you know what? It's 12 o'clock. Let's leave a little early. And we did. And we got up there, got in the right line, got the shot, waited 15 minutes and came home. And it wasn't yet 1 o'clock. So I thought, wow, this is amazing.
Yeah, they have it down to a science.
Oh, it was brilliant.
Too. Really do.
Well, I should hope it is science.
Sima, I want to wish you a happy birthday.
Oh, thank you, sweetheart. That's so kind of you. Yes,
Happy birthday. Simone.
76.
Happy birthday, Sima.
Happy birthday.
But no, maybe you're dyslexic and you're only 67.
Wow. Thank you. Davina, that was the kindest gift I've ever gotten.
I was going to say she's 46 today.
Getting any of us.
No,
I
no,
have-
no, the bad
I have
news.
to give my mother Michelle credit because, you know, she was 95 when she passed, but she used to say, I'm only 59.
I'm only 94.
Good night, Ahara.
49.
Sima, when is your birthday
Bye,
actually?
Stacy.
Today?
Oh,
Today.
Today?
February 13th,
We'll have to
between
wish you a happy-
Sherry Dollins is yesterday.
Okay, I was online right before we have Saturday morning services, but I'll talk to you.
Terry went for her shot this morning. Of course, it's not.
Send a related card.
Okay,
There we go.
Well, the first time, the injection site was sore, but it was hard for me to move my arm, so I hope it's not any worse for the second one.
Hello, everybody. I'm going to say hello.
Hi, Janet.
Hello.
Hello. Hi. Listen,
Hello.
I've got two
Shalom.
things. Oh, what? Sorry.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. I've got something to mention, and I thought I'd share it with everybody here. But first, we may be leaving the meeting early because our kids are driving through Arizona. So our grandchildren. So of course we'll do that. And second, happy birthday, Sima, dear.
Thank you. And the card was so sweet.
Oh.
So sweet.
Well,
It's
okay.
hanging prominently.
Good. Third thing, today in the paper, which was very interesting, a gentleman wrote in the editorial section, and he was explaining how he had such a hard time getting his COVID shot and so on. And he said, but you know, once he got it, and everybody was so wonderful there and so helpful and so kind, he said, wouldn't it be nice to be able to have a tip jar at the COVID site and that money go to the food banks?
Oh, that's a good idea. That's a great idea.
I just was so impressed by that. And I thought, I just read it like a half hour ago. And I thought, wow, you know, of course, living in Arizona and we have such a horrible name, and rightly so, it could make Arizona look pretty much better. But I just thought that would be just a win-win situation. The person's getting the inoculation and they're making money for the food banks, and they're desperately needed. I thought I'd put it out there to you guys.
Thank you.
A great idea.
Just was
By
very
the way,
different.
Janet, if the kids are coming through and you want to bring them into the living room and show them off to us, we'd be glad to meet you.
Well, you know what? I absolutely will. It's Adam and Maddie, and they, Maddie's been here working and Adam drove up to get her, and we don't hug or kiss. And so they're having brunch right now with Shayna at ASU. So they said, we won't hug or kiss, but we want to come by and see you, because Adam drove up here last night. So absolutely.
Everybody.
Hi, Richard.
So that's a great idea to have the kids, they want to see the kids. I just don't want to interrupt the service.
Okay. We'd love to see the kids. It's okay.
It'll be a welcome interruption. Let's all vote. Isn't it always a welcome interruption? Isn't any interruption during services a welcome interruption?
Okay. Okay. Well,
Happy birthday, Sima.
Thank you, Barbara. I'm still a lot older than you.
All right.
Happy birthday, Sima Schuster.
Yes, it's this is the day.
Sima
February
Schuster,
is a
happy
good month.
birthday.
Birthday and Valentine's Day. That's
It is a good day.
it.
Valentine's-
Listen, it's a good day when you get up and you're upright and mobile. That's a good day.
I always say every day's a birthday.
Yep. Well, that's going to be it. I'm now 212.
you know, Sima, I'm still always older than you, so
I don't think so. You just, who are you going to believe, me or your birth certificate?
well, my birth certificate's not real anyhow, so what's the difference? Why? Long a story.
It sounds like a good story.
It's a fake.
Sima,
Yeah.
so this is Owen. Happy
Yeah.
birthday.
Thank you, sweetie. Both of you.
Your story on the shot, I missed the beginning of it. Where did you take your shots?
CSUN. It's
Okay.
a drive-through. It was perfect. Just
Wonderful,
perfect.
wonderful.
Does that
We
come
were
with
unable,
french fries,
we weren't
Sima?
able to get appointments at places that seemed convenient, CSUN and so on. So we ended up going to Magic Mountain.
Oh, that's where Sherry Dollins went, I think.
I don't think I saw her there. But you know, there are a lot of people wearing masks. It's a little hard to tell.
Yeah, right.
And once you got through the Disney-like line that the cars lined up to get there, it was very efficient. They were very kind. They were very aware of the fact that a lot of people were over 75, so they asked a lot of not probing, but very polite questions. Do you need assistance? Do you need help out of the car, and so on. The only lengthy thing was the drive there and the drive back, quite honestly. So we're doing it again. They said they're only doing second shots, basically. So it should be a faster process. The whole thing was 4 hours for us.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
Not bad.
1 hour.
Except that I'm dealing with an 80-year-old bladder, so you got to be careful of those things.
What I liked about
Yeah, you're
CSUN,
laughing, Barbara.
Owen, take a bottle with you next time.
Who said that?
I'm
Richard.
laughing because when
Oh.
we went, it was like, oh, I better not drink too much coffee today. I know this could be a long line. I have to think too. I'm not as young as you guys want me to be. I wish I was.
My mother always called you my young friend, so just stick with it.
Yeah.
Well, you and Sim are my two big sisters, so you know.
Oh, I thought we were your grandmothers.
No, we're her sisters. People don't know, but we used to be the lifeguards at Malibu Beach every Wednesday.
Number 7.
right?
Yep, with our
And we'd
cheese
watch
and
all-
tomato sandwiches.
Yes, and we'd watch all these kids that were
Right.
being disruptive and everything, that were in camps and stuff, and that they were, counselors weren't watching them, but we were there.
And
We
we
were there.
told them,
Did you save them all?
yes.
All of them, absolutely.
Never lost one.
No,
That's good.
Well, there was one, but he doesn't count.
those were the good old days.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Well, my friend, it is 10:30 and we're going to begin our service. So if you have not yet put on a talit, we can say the bracha together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav tzivanu lehi'ateh b'tzitzit. And you may put it on. And again, as I warn you every week, or every service, I am going to have to put you all on mute. So please don't take it personally. So we are going to begin our service on page 14. And we begin at the bottom of the page. אנחנו נברך יה, ואתה מיד העולם, ואתה מיד העולם, הללויה. We're on page 16. We skip the Baruch Hu, as you know, and we go right on to El Adon. El Adon, Kol HaMa'asim, Baruch Hu Bara, Efi Kol Neshama, Gadol V'Tulo, Malei Olam, Ya'at Utuna, Sareh Mimotav, Hamimda E'achayot HaKodesh, V'nedar B'chavod Olam Nekava, V'chud U'Mishron L'Ifnei Chizon, We gather our tzitzit together in the preparation for the Shema. Ve'havienu l'shalom me'yobakan fot haaretz. V'tolichenu komimut li'artzenu ke'el el Yeshuot ata. Uvanu v'charta mikolam v'lashon v'kerev tanu l'shimcha hagados ela be'emet lahodot lecha u'leachetcha b'yahava. Baruch ata Adonai. Habocher b'yamo Yisrael b'ahava.
Amen.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha v'veitecha u'v'lechtecha v'derech u'v'shachbecha u'v'kumecha u'kshartam liot al yadecha v'hayu l'totafot bein einecha u'chetavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'v'isharecha. The Lord said to Moses, "Speak to the children of Israel and bid them to make tzitzit in the corners of their garments throughout their generations, putting upon the tzitzit of each corner a thread of blue. When you look upon the tzitzit, you will be reminded of all the commandments of the Lord and obey them. You will not be led astray by the inclination of your heart or by the attraction of your eyes. Thus we shall be reminded to fulfill all my commandments and be consecrated to your God. I am the Lord your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I, the Lord, am your God." It's one last time. Azot, azot, shibachu ahuvim, shibachu ahuvim. V'romemu, 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 v'romemu el. V'natenu, v'natenu yedidim. V'natenu, v'natenu yedidim. Zmirot, shirot, v'tishbachot, v'rachot, v'todaot. Lamelech el chai v'kayam, ram v'nisa, gadol v'nora, mashpil geim, umagbiya shefa, alim, motzi asirim, ufode anavim, v'zerdalim. V'yoneleyam, o v'yoneleyam, o v'yet shavam elav. Tehillo le'el elyon baruch mevorach, Moshe u'vnei Yisrael achandu shira, v'simcha rabba v'yamaru chulam. Mi chamocha bo'elim Adonai. Mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh. Nora tehilot osei fele. Shira harasha shibuchu geulim l'shimcha sfar hayam. Yachad kulam hodu v'himlichu v'yamaru. Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed. So we are going to pause now and we are going to share what we are thankful for. This is also birthday Shabbat. We've been informed that Betty Delman is celebrating a birthday this month, and Mike Easley celebrating a birthday. Sima Schuster is celebrating a birthday this month. I don't have everybody's birthdays down here, so if you're also celebrating a birthday, raise your hand. Richard.
Okay.
Janet is celebrating a birthday.
Janet, happy birthday. Who else
Thank
is
you.
celebrating a birthday? Raise your hand. So those are our February birthdays. So let's wish them all a happy birthday. Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach. And now we are going to have an opportunity to share what we are thankful for. And if you could please, when I call on you, unmute yourself and please share. Who would like to kick things off? Richard Kirschbaum. So please unmute yourself.
Yes, Janet and I would like to share that soon we will be seeing our grandson and his fiance.
And we're thrilled.
Very nice. Thank you. Who else would like to share something good that's happening in your life? Sue Lippman.
We just heard that we were able to get an appointment for our first vaccine because Ventura County has been so low on their vaccines. We've been looking for the past week and they've all been filled, and we just got in for tomorrow, Monday, actually. So
Wow.
we're thrilled.
Thank you. Who else would like to share what you're thankful for? Ray Wazana.
Yes, Armand and I are very thankful. We just had our first vaccine this past Wednesday at Kaiser. And the nice thing is, it didn't hurt at all. You know, I mean, we didn't have that achiness until that night. We both woke up and said, "Is your shoulder bothering you?"
No.
But we were very fortunate. So we have our appointment for the second one.
Okay, very good. Who else would like to share what you're thankful for? Sam.
I am thrilled to say I'm so happy Kitty Glass is with us today. And I'm sure she's very thankful that we didn't have to line up 5 cars to take all the linens back. Just like she's just going to be our guest of honor. And she's going to have all the goodies when she gets back there. And I'm so grateful to Congregation Shir for making that lovely, lovely donation to the shelters. And that meant that our congregation did not have to go out to shop. So thank you to Kitty for being with us. And thank you for our congregation for this special mitzvah.
Thank you, Fran. And Kitty will be speaking with us just in a few minutes. Sheila Hart. Don't forget to unmute.
I'm having my second shot tomorrow morning, and I will be ready for Freddie or something. I'm so glad that it'll be over.
That's great. Thank you. Who else would like to share what you are thankful for? Raise your hand. We have actually 2 screens here. Mo.
Well, I'm thankful. I think we are now a proud owner of a 3rd dog. My wife has always wanted another dog. Only Bonnie, we won't be walking this one because he's only 11 weeks. But in a while we will. But I'm thankful that she got her wish. And he's a cute little boy, cute little golden retriever. And we're very happy. And I think I had a spotting yesterday of Bonnie walking around Farallone. So good to see you back out.
Saw you in the distance. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, Mo lives about 3 miles from us, and Bonnie's very vigorous in her walking. No, actually, he lives around the block. Who else would like to share what you are thankful for before we have Stan Schroeder share? Davida.
Shabbat shalom, everybody. Oh, I'm on mute. Oh, I just wanted to tell you, I got to go to Rancho Mirage and spend a day and a half with my sister Sybil, which makes me always so happy when you're used to seeing somebody all the time. So that was a real mitzvah, and I was happy to have some happiness because unfortunately, and this is supposed to be what you're happy for, I'm not going to get into, but we had 2 deaths that were very devastating. And so to have, that's why it's so important to see people and to see your family, to see your friends, and you can't take anything for granted because you just never know when. And that's why I love seeing this, and that's why it's our tradition. And anyway, I'm happy to be here, healthy, and getting my next shot, like I said, February 18th, my husband and I, Bruce, and I just happy to hear everybody getting their shot. So, Baruch Hashem.
Thank you. Yom Yom every single day. Thank you. Who else would like to share? Fiona.
Yes, I'm very happy that I was able to talk to my brother in England, who's 91 now, and he seems to be doing fine. In spite of all the lockdowns and everything there, he's still able to see his lady friend, because apparently if you're in a bubble, in other words, you don't mix with too many other people, they are able to see each other every weekend. So I'm very happy I was able to talk to him. It's nice to know that there's at least 2 of us left.
Thank you, Fiona. Who else would like to share what you are thankful for? Let me check the other screen here. Let's make sure we're getting everybody covered. So I don't think I see anybody else. So we're going to have Stan Schroeder. Please share. What are you thankful for today?
Well, I'm thankful for being able to do this each Shabbat, that we have services, and the many other things that the congregation brings to me. It's as you know, an important part of my life. And of course, to have this opportunity to share something that's going on. Happy birthday to those. And as you know, it's also this month, the birthday of at least a couple of our presidents that we celebrate. We're going to celebrate on Monday, Lincoln's and George Washington's birthday. And what I wanted to talk briefly is about some of the Jewish advisors that our former presidents have depended on. And it goes back a lot longer than many of us know. And some of them are familiar names, but some are not. And I start with a man by name of Simon Wolf. He was the first of Jewish presidential advisors. He helped Ulysses S. Grant's political rehabilitation among Jews. Grant had banned Jews from Mississippi, Tennessee, and Kentucky during the Civil War because of alleged complicity in cotton smuggling. Wolf engineered a mea culpa from Grant, who went on to become president in the election of 1868 and took Wolf under his wing. Shortly before his death, he wrote a memoir, Presidents I Have Known from 1860 to 1918, a long life. The second one is named Jacob Schiff. He was a wealthy financier who was the most influential Jewish American of the late 19th century up to his death in 1920. He lobbied presidents and Congress for help countering Russian pogroms against Jews and for Jewish immigrants and against immigration restrictions. Oscar Solomon Strauss of the Strauss family was the first Jewish member of the cabinet appointed by Theodore Roosevelt in 1906 to be Secretary of Commerce and Labor. He also did several stints as a U.S. emissary to the Ottoman Empire, and his service to various presidents earned him a fountain in Washington, D.C. dedicated to his memory. One that we know more about, of course, is Louis Brandeis and Bernard Baruch, arguably the last of the great American Jewish leaders able to promote Jewish interest in Washington through the force of his own reputation and personality. Felix Frankfurter brought his fierce loyalty and lordly intelligence to Washington during World War I and became influential and, of course, a member of the Supreme Court. and Edward Jacobson. We know his story with Truman. Arthur Goldberg. Goldberg also played a close White House relationship to the Supreme Court. President Kennedy brought Goldberg aboard as Secretary of Labor in 1961. Following year, JFK nominated Goldberg to occupy what was then referred to as the Jewish seat on the Supreme Court after the departure of Frankfurter. So we have so much to be thankful for. We have a tradition. We are represented in the government, and we are a very blessed people, every one of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Stan. And of course, today, the president's chief of staff and his secretary of state and others are also Jews. And so it's nice to see that we continue to be able to be so helpful in the process of our government. And so we're going to continue now with our private thoughts of prayer, fullness, and thanks as we continue quietly right after we join together in Sur Yisrael. Sur Yisrael, Lakuma Be'ezrat Yisrael, Ufedechinu Meha Yehuda Ve'Yisrael. Go Aleinu Adonai Tzvaot Shemo, Kedosh Yisrael, Baruch Atah Adonai, Yisrael. We continue with our own private prayerful thoughts. Shalom, Tova, Uvracha, Chen v'chesed, Chesed v'rachamim, Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael Amecha. Sim Shalom Tova Uvracha, Ein v'chesed v'rachamim. Sim Shalom Tova Uvracha, Ein v'chesed v'rachamim. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael Amecha. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael Amecha. Shalom, 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 Nimrom Yaseh shalom, Aleinu, Oseh shalom, 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 Nimrom Yaseh shalom, Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. If you've wondered what the background is that we have for my virtual background, they are Hebrew words, and they say Misha Nichnas Adar Marbim B'Simcha, which means whoever brings in or ushers in the Hebrew month of Adar ushers in great joy. So with the beginning of the month of Adar, we're supposed to begin to ramp up our joy in preparation for Purim, because Purim is in the middle of this month. And so as we anticipate Purim, and that's what all of the brightness and joy is on the virtual background, we do that because today is the first day of Adar. And every time it is Rosh Chodesh, we also do special prayers known as Hallel. And so we're going to do some of our Hallel prayer. I am going to share my screen with you so that you will be able to join with us. And we're going to see if we can get this thing to work. And you should see it in just a moment. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu likro et hallel b'tzeit Yisrael miMitzrayim beit Yaakov me'Amalek b'tzeit Yisrael miMitzrayim beit Yaakov me'Amalek Hayta Yehuda lekadsho Yisrael mamshelotav Hayan Ra'av Hayanos Hayarden Yisov le'achor Harim Rakedu ve'elim Evaot K'netzon Malacha Hayam Titanus Hayarden Tisov le'achor Harim Tirkedu Che'elim Givaot K'netzon Milifnei Adon Chulei Aretz Milifnei Elohai Yaakov Hahofechi Hatzor Hagamayim Halamish Lemaino Mahayim. Wait, we're not done yet.
I know.
Adonai Zecharanu Yevarech, Yevarech et Beit Yisrael, Yevarech Yirei Aharon, Yevarech Yirei Adonai, Kedamim Gedolim, Yasef Adonai Aleichem, Aleichem Me'al B'neichem, Zeruchim Atem Adonai, Oseh Shamayim Haaretz, Hashamayim Shamayim Adonai, Be'aretz Natan Bnei Adam, Lametim Hallelujah, Elokol Yardei Duma, V'anachnu Nevarech Yah, Ve'ata Ve'ad Olam, Ve'ata Ve'ad Olam, Hallelujah. Hallelujah, Adonai, Kol Goyim Shavu, Shavechu, Kol Ha'omim, Ki Gavar Aleinu Chasto, Ve'emet Adonai, Le'olam, Hallelujah. Odul Adonai. Odecha ki anitani vatehi li lishua. Odecha ki anitani vatehi li lishua. Even masu haponim aita lerosh bina. Even masu haponim aita lerosh bina. Me'et Adonai aita zot inifli obienenu. Me'et Adonai aita zot inifli obienenu. Ze hayom asa Adonai nagila v'nismecha bo. Ze hayom asa Adonai nagila v'nismecha bo. Repeat after me. Ana Adonai Hoshiana.
Ana Adonai Hoshiana.
Ana Adonai Hoshiana.
Ana Adonai Hoshiana.
Ana Adonai Hatzlichana.
Ana Adonai Hatzlichana.
Ana Adonai Hatzlichana.
Ana Adonai Hatzlichana.
Very nice. Thank God it's Adar. So thank you. So increase your joy. Increase your joy. So we come now to the Torah service. We're going to get ready to change our background here so that we'll be able to properly open the ark. Watch for it. This is always the highlight of at least the two of our days. So even if nobody else. So we are going to begin our service. There we go. All right. So you're practicing already. So let's get this over here. All righty. So we turn back again to page 19. Ein kamocha ba'Elohim Adonai v'ein k'matzecha ma'asecha ma'achos kol olamim u'memshaltecha b'chol dor v'dor. Adonai melech, Adonai malach, Adonai yimloch li'olam va'ed, Adonai oz li'amo yitein, Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom, avarachamim, Eitiv avertzoncha et Zion, Tivnei chomot Yerushalayim, Tivnei chomot Yerushalayim, Ki v'cha levad batachnu, Melech el ram v'nisa, Adon olamim. Vayehi binto Aaron, Vayomer Moshe, Kumar Adonai, V'yafutzu oivecha, V'yanusu misanecha mipanecha. Ki mitzion tetzei Torah, Ki mitzion tetzei Torah, Udevar Adonai miYerushalayim, Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah, Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah, Le'amo Yisrael b'kedushato, be'anarachetz v'lishmei kadisha, kadisha yakira, ana amartu shbechan, be'anarachetz, be'anarachetz, Lishmei Kadisha, Kadisha Yakira, Ana Amartu Shbechan, Yehi Ravakadama, V'tiftach libi b'oraita, V'tashli mishalim delibi, V'libadechol amach Yisrael, Letavu lechayim, ולשלום. Amen. Bonnie is now going to read from the Torah portion, and we'll talk a little bit about it when she finishes. The name of the Torah portion is Mishpatim. We have just finished last week being introduced to the Aseret HaDibrot, the so-called 10 Commandments, and now we move from the major laws of those documents to the more daily laws of Mishpatim, and we'll talk about one of them in just a few moments. But now the reading of the Torah.
ואלה המשפטים אשר תשים לפניהם, כי תקנה עבד עברי 6 שנים יעבוד, ובשביעית יצא לחמשי חינם, אם בגפו יבוא בגפו יצא, אם בעל אישה הוא, ויצאה אשתו עמו, אם אדוניו ייתן לו אישה, וילדה לו בנים או בנות, האישה וילדיה תהיה לאדונך, והוא יצא בגפו, ואם אמור אומר העבד, אהבתי את אדוני, את אשתי ואת בניו, לא אצא חפשי.
Let's go. Thank you, Bonnie. So the Torah portion is being read on the same day that we have Linen Shabbat. And Kitty Glass here is going to be speaking to us in a few moments, but because we are going to be making sure that domestic violence is something that we are going to be concentrating on for a moment, because it is the domestic violence that we have to confront and provide assistance for the people who are suffering from it. I wanted to see whether it's possible for our Torah portion, the Shabbat, Mishpatim, to have any relationship to domestic violence. And yet, and there is. And the problem is one word. And I'm going to show you what that word is in our Torah portion. This is taken from Exodus 21, verse 28. And in a moment, you are going to be seeing it. All right, do you all see a verse in front of you? Give me a thumbs up if you can see a verse in front of you. Okay, thank you. So take a look at this. V'chi yigach shor et ish o et isha v'met. So if an ox gores a man or a woman to death, sako yisakel hashor, then the ox shall be stoned. V'lo ye'achel et b'saro, and you can't eat the flesh. And then take a look here. This is the word. Uba'al hashor naki. The owner of the ox is not to be punished. Why is this important? Because the Hebrew word for husband is Baal. Baal doesn't only mean husband, it means owner. And it's very possible that the roots of domestic violence go back here. They go back to the fact that a man feels he owns his wife. And in fact, the Bible goes on to tell us that if a woman gets pregnant, just a little bit later on in our Torah portion today, if a woman gets pregnant and there's a spontaneous abortion because somebody accidentally hits her in the stomach, what does the person who caused a spontaneous abortion have to do? He pays a fine to who? Not the woman, the man, because it's the man's property that was destroyed. Now we know that Judaism does not condone domestic violence. We also know, however, that this notion that in some way a man owns his wife is going to suggest that maybe as a result he can do whatever he wants with her. So before we talk a little bit more about battered women and about the way in which our congregation continues to help battered women, I wanted to share with you a few quotes in order to make sure that our minds are reoriented to realizing that Judaism's ideal is not that. The Talmud Bavli, the Babylonian Talmud, for example, tells us that a man should not project excessive fear on his household. And it goes on to say that Rabbi Chabot said a man should always be careful in respecting his wife, for any blessing found in his home is only on account of her. And we go on to read in the Talmud that, and in the Maimonides Mishnah Torah, that thus commanded the sages, a man should honor his wife more than his own body and love her like his own body. So domestic violence is a part of the Jewish community as much as it's part of the world's community. But we are trying to help. And one of the ways we do it is by bringing Kitty Glass to us to tell us what are the advances that are being made within our community to be able to assist those who are suffering from being battered. And I am glad to, once again, representing the Jewish Family Service Domestic Violence Project, to share with us again, Kitty Glass. And I'm going to spotlight you, Kitty, and there you are.
Thank you so much, Rabbi, and Shabbat Shalom to everybody. So happy to be here as always. This is a little strange seeing all of you in little boxes, but I guess this has been our life for the last year. The main thing is being able to see you all and knowing that you're well, thank God. And it sounded prior to the service that you're all well on your way in the vaccination process. So that's great. And that's truly a blessing. So first, I want to thank you for your incredible donation and support to our program at JFS Hope. Rabbi, it's amazing because I just had a seminar with a few folks on a religious DV committee, domestic violence committee. And one of the things that was brought up was the fact that so many clergy really don't understand the dynamics of domestic violence and don't know how to counsel or refer congregants who are suffering. You are not one of those, however. We so appreciate your passion and commitment, not only to JFS and to our program, but to the issue of domestic violence, period. So it is definitely, we as Jews are definitely not immune, as many would like to think. So what's been happening at JFS Hope this year? Well, lots has gone on, believe it or not. In spite of the pandemic, we have been blessed with a phenomenal staff. Our shelters continue to operate 24/7. We have a limited amount of staff, though, on site for safety reasons. And all of the counseling services and case management services are provided virtually. The individual and support group counseling has been virtual. And actually, it's worked out amazingly well. We thought that some of the clients would miss the contact, but actually it's been quite the opposite. We have acquired clients from even out of state who would never be able to seek support services if it weren't for Zoom. So that turned out to be a positive in this pandemic, and something, excuse me, that may remain in place, as well as meetings via Zoom. Pardon me, let me take a drink. So first of all, as far as the linens are concerned, we have already made that purchase and they are in the shelters. So we thank you for that. You know, it's interesting because when the pandemic started and we were all told that we'd be safer at home, that made a lot of sense to all of us, just to stay home and take care of ourselves and each other. But for those suffering from domestic violence, safer at home is not safer at home. If you're locked up with somebody who is hurting you and abusing you, that's really traumatic. So at first, our the hotline calls were really reduced. People were afraid to seek services. Their partners were there and they had very little space. Fortunately, that has changed, and Some of our clients go outside, go in the backyard and have their counseling there. We have clients that are literally hiding in their closets on their telephone, getting services so they can have some privacy. But all in all, this has been, I have to say, an incredible and memorable year. I mean, I can't say, I think we've done the very, very best that we can possibly do. Nobody has had to suffer in silence. Everybody has had access to services. I'm doing a 40-hour state mandated training now for domestic violence for service providers, attorneys, and case managers and other social service providers. And it's all been done on Zoom. So at the onset of all this, I think we were all learning by the seat of our pants, flying by the seat of our pants. But now it has sort of become a way of life. And as far as our trainings are concerned, I think that we're going to continue this way. We have a couple of attorneys that are joining us from Sacramento that, of course, would never have been able to come in person. So we've learned a lot this year, as I'm sure you all have. We've had time to look inside. We've had time to think about how we want to live our lives, how we want to remain safe in terms of our health, and for our domestic violence clients, safe and how they want to maintain their safety, how we can assist them in doing so. But it takes a village, and it takes folks like you, congregations like you, friends like you, advocates like all of you who have supported our work and continue to do so. And SOVA is another one of our programs that has really, really been busy this year. I know you all support them. And actually, initially at the beginning of the pandemic, I was doing some work with SOVA and calling clients who normally would come to our food banks, but clearly couldn't get out. So that's been running smoothly. Our food banks have reopened, and we are slowly but surely getting back to what will become, I don't like to use the word new normal because that seems to be a buzzword. So whatever our lives are going to be in the coming weeks, we will try to live them fully, richly, and in a way that is meaningful and to be healthy. We want to be able to hug our grandchildren and see one another. And the next time we're all together, I certainly hope that it will be in person, where I'll be able to reach out and literally give you all a big hug for all the support and kindness you've shared with our program. So truly, I speak for our entire staff in saying a heartfelt thank you.
Thank you so much, Kitty. That was lovely. And can I also extend a very special thank you to Fran Kabolnik and the members of our Social Action Committee for all of the wonderful work that they do. So thank you. It's encouraging to hear that people are not being neglected and they're not being denied. And it's good that our congregation is a part of trying to repair that part of the world. Thank you. We're now going to turn our attention to a Fran. Yes, go ahead, Fran. Somebody's going to have to unmute you.
Hi. I can hear?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Great. I just wanted to say how far back we go. Remembering our very, very first linen Shabbat. I think it's when we rented Kol Tikva. Was that our first place we rented? And how we had to carry out all the linens. We put the back rows. Do you guys all remember that? We filled out how many rows in the back, and we kept looking as people walked in. And I remember looking at Kitty as she came in and saying, "Oh my goodness, we went beyond." And then when we went to all the different temples where we filled up things, and everybody had to schlep. But and Kitty says, I can't see through my mirror with the back out, and people have to follow and get other help. Later on, she found out she had to bring more than one helper who would go to the shelters because there's no way it all fit in one car. And I laugh at the things that we all carried out. Okay, but you all remember, we'll go back 22 years, I think it is, when we started doing this. That's a very long time. That's a lot of limbs. And I personally loved every minute of watching everybody else. I would organize and say, you can carry it out. And everybody participated gladly. And I don't know how many tons of linens we bought through the years, but doing it this way is unique and it's still getting done. And Kitty did not mention, but you did tell me that doing on Amazon, Kitty, right? That you have an Amazon
Yes.
doing this also?
Yes, we have an Amazon wish list, which makes it very easy for everybody to just click and go to JFS, and you can always see what's on our wish list. But Fran, you are an extra special human being, is all I can say. And were it not for you and your advocacy and your utzing and your phone calls and all of that, you have brought this together and really, truly made magic for our program. And for that, we are eternally grateful. And yes, it's been many years.
Yeah, it's not me, it's the congregation and everybody in the congregation, beginning with Rabbi and Bonnie, who supported us through all this always and continue to do so. And there's a lot of us that are homebound with different things. Bonnie had surgery and she's running around like new again. And I'm like, oh, this is cool. The only thing that keeps those of us that are homebound at this point going is doing this stuff, because otherwise the walls close in. So thank you for the opportunity. And we were trying to figure it out, and Neil Topper finally told me it was 22 years ago, because Barbara started social action. And so we're trying to figure out how long this is going on. It was 22 years.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Fran, thank you for reminding us how good we feel performing mitzvot such as these. Thank you for leading us in that. We are now going to turn our attention to the Misha Berach, and so in a moment I'll ask you to share names of people who are not well. Misha Berach, Avotein, Abraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, Yumotein, Sarah, Rivka, Chavalei, who Yivrach, Baravet, Cholim. May he who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal these who are sick. I want to start with the name Sam, who is a 11th grader in our school who was diagnosed with leukemia. And so we want to make sure that he is on our list. Bonnie, if you could please share.
Rivi Schulman, Jane Apson, Bonnie Ritter, Joy Rosenberg, Nancy Gill, Rabbi Steve Robbins, Yehudit Bat Leva Tzvia, Lior Ben Mordechai Halevi, Linda Scharf, and that's it.
Thank you. Raise your hand and I will call on you. Please remember to unmute. Richard and Janet, please unmute.
Me. Sherry Rosenstein, Bonnie Vorspan, Melinda Pittler, Helen Klingman, and Grant Hackman.
Thank you. Mo.
Sue Barth, Mike Roach, Bruce Kabbalah, Bob Zetz, Rita Baruffi, Angie Testa, Cindy Marks, Carolyn Birch, Mike Skinner, Harriet Spiro.
You please raise your hand. Sybil.
Jeff Roberts.
Thank you. Ray Wazana.
Donna Krupp, Janetta Wazana, Suzanne Mattioi, Phil Cooperman, and there's another name right now, Jerry Stoner.
Thank you. Barbara Haddam, please unmute.
Walter Pay, Jimmy Green, Howie Jacobson, Sally Chase, Nancy Satin, Blanche Lillian, David Levin.
Thank you. Raise your hand. Paula Lewis.
Izzy, Michelle, Damon, and Hannah. Ruth Solomon, Tony Ransdell, Marilyn Greenberg, Nancy Deal Hammond, Nancy Severe.
Thank you. And Lou.
June DeVito and Chuck Richmond.
Thank you. Raise your hand. Jordan Pistol, please unmute.
A Newmar Virginian.
Thank you. Stan Schroeder.
My sister, Sissy Drew. Thank you.
Thank you. Sam Kabalnik.
Mark Suckman in France.
Thank you. Raise your hand. Judy Isikowitz.
Eileen Wasserman, Rachel Isikowitz, and Christine Kroll.
Thank you. Raise your hand, and I'll call on you, Steve Schuster. Please unmute.
You turned your camera off, but you're not on mute.
Yeah, you turned your camera off, Sima, but you didn't unmute. You pushed the
Doing
wrong
the
button.
muting.
There you go. Go ahead and talk.
Okay. Morty and Myra Margolis, Steve Schuster, Virginia Wilson, Charlie Kane, Samantha Kane, Fran and Jim Riley, Bonnie Vorspan, Gigi Kafka, Dina Kerensky.
Thank you, Sima. Raise your hand. Fiona.
Ian Landsberg, Ian Landsberg, oh dear, Robin Levy, Fran Kabalnik, Bonnie, that's it.
Thank you, Fiona. Becky.
Fran Kabalnik, Bonnie, Elliot Ackerfield, Megan Ross, Pete Harrop.
Thank you. Sheila Hart, please unmute. Thank you, Sheila. Who, please raise your hand if you have any names. Lou Loomis?
Paula Loomis.
Thank you. Please raise your hand if you have any names. I don't think I see anybody. Shout out if I'm not seeing you when you have a name. I don't think I see anybody. Okay. המקום ישלח להם במהרה רפואת הנפש ורפואת הגוף, בתושח לישוע ונאמר אמן. May the All-Merciful restore these people to full health and to full vigor, along with all others who are stricken with illness. And let us say amen.
Amen.
I'm going to say a blessing for the state of Israel, but first for the United States. Harachaman hu yivarchet atzot habrit v'yagen aleha. May God bless the United States of America and protect her. And before we have a prayer for the state of Israel, this, Stan, thank you for sharing this. This isn't your grandfather's steak. The Israeli company Aleph Farms announced Tuesday that it had produced the world's first slaughter-free steak using a mix of 3D printing technology and real cow cells. The startup boasted that it tastes like a delicious, tender, juicy ribeye steak that you'd buy from the butcher. So I guess this is better than hamburgers, right? Because we already have slaughter-free hamburgers, but not steaks. Faculty at the country's famed Technion Israel Institute of Technology aided in the process. The bioprinting phenomenon takes live cells and replicates them to mimic a natural organism or product. Aleph Farms technology is in demand, and the company is partnering with Mitsubishi so that you can cook it on your radiator. No, I just made that part up. Okay. The world's first lab-grown meat restaurant opened in Tel Aviv last year, serving exclusively chicken made by a company called Super Meat. An Israeli rabbi told the Jewish telegraphic agency that Super Meat product was kosher. Very nice. Okay, so let us sing a blessing for the state of Israel. Avinu Shabashamayim, Zur Yisrael v'goalo, Barechet Midinat Yisrael, Reshit Tzmichat Geulatenu. Now we're going to return the Torah to the Ark. We can find that on the bottom of page 21. Eich Chaim Hi Lamachazikim Ba V'Tomchem Meushar Deracheha Darchei Noam V'chol Netivoteha Shalom Ashivenu Adonai Elecha v'nashuva Chadesh Chadesh Yameinu Chadesh Yameinu Kekedem. you were early and I was late.
Well.
Should have been
it was-
perfect, but it didn't turn out that way. Okay. We are going to now introduce Jordan Pistol, who is going to share with us the announcements for our congregation. So Jordan, please, you're unmuted, so please share.
Shabbat Shalom. The next Tish will be on Thursday, Friday 18th at 7:30 p.m. The Tish will be conducted via Zoom, so you can attend from the comfort of your own home and only be seen from the waist up. The next Tish will be Thursday, February 25th. Is that really happening?
No, it's not happening because it's Purim.
That's what I thought. But I don't want to make a big McGill out of it. So mark your calendars for a special program via Zoom on Sunday, March 21st at 3 p.m. when Cantor Jonathan Friedman will explore with us how song has become so important in Jewish liturgy and synagogue practice. Our next Shabbat service will be on February 27th at 10:30 a.m. via Zoom and Facebook. And remember, you are halachically forbidden to use your Jewish space lasers on Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you. We continue our service with Aleinu, page 24. Please rise if you can. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol l'teinu l'yotzeh b'rishit shelo asanu kigoyeh aratzot v'lo samanu
k'mishpachot ha'adama
shelo sam chelpinu tahem v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam. V'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'modim l'ifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu shehu noteh shamayim v'yosed haaretz u'moshev yikaro b'shamayim mima'al u'shchinatu zo b'gavhei meromim Hu Eloheinu Einot Emet Malkeinu Efes Ulato Kakatu B'Torato V'yadata Hayom Dehashivota Elevavecha Ki Adonai Hu Elohim B'Shamayim Mima V'al Haaretz Mitachat Einod. V'nemar v'haya Adonai l'melech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yiyeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad. Please be seated. However, if you are in mourning or observing yahrzeit, remain standing as we observe these yahrzeits of the coming 2 weeks. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be for a blessing. Bert Donis, Phil Kramer, Rose Fryman, Minette Green, Clara Halpern, Joseph Lipman, Rebecca Haas, Joseph Sherman, Tina Granick, Bert Pistol, Arthur Edelman, Malihava Myers, Elaine Orens, Roy Loomis, Jacob Meyer Paparo, Aryeh Miklos Fader, Jerome Harold Sachs, Joseph Shernan, Lillian Scharf, Ted Rubin, Jeanette Russell, Leah Cooper, Morris Ahrens, Mabel Mann, Maxwell Margolis, Simon Washer, Frida Rose Spitzer, Clara Malakan, Lou Kutcher, Julius Orens, Emmanuel Washer, Betty Gertz, Pearl Cohen, Gabriel Scharf, Dr. Morris Seagart, Milton Silverman, Max Perlmutter, Lillian Lickman, Morton Freeman, Herman Margolis, Herman Siebler, Edward Krause, Grace Conrad, Gladys Birkin, Sheila Frankel, Thomas Miller, Helen Wolf, Louis Burke, Leo Jacques Lampkin, Bell Lipman, Frank Packer, Ted Rubin, Jenny Halper, Gussie Fay, Sima Meschel, Ethel Pollock, Peggy Seletsky, Ronnie Chaplin, Gerald S. Shapiro, Beatrice Nimovitz, Melrose J. Berman, Bertha Perez, Philip Drucker, Shirley Sunshine. Please share names of people who I have neglected. Please raise your hand and I will call on you if I didn't mention the name. Somebody observing yard sites in the next 2 weeks. And in the meantime, if everybody could please unmute in preparation for the mourner's Kaddish. Do I see any hands of people who are observing a yard site? Okay. Thank you. Any other names? Okay, the mourner's Kaddish. You can find this on page 25. Yit gadal, yit kadash, the alman, rach, yamlich, Chayechonu, Yomechonu, Chaye, Bechol, Beit Yisrael, Agalam, Man Kari, Imaru, Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabba B'Torah, V'Yolam Yitbarach, Yishtabach, Yitbar, Yisromam, Yithalel, Yithalal, Shemei Kedusha, Le'ela, Kol Virchata, V'Shirata, Tushkata, Nechemata, Amiran, B'Lav, Imeru, Amen. Hey Shmei Rabba Min Shemaya, Chayim Aleinu V'Yalchol Ru Amen. Oseh Shalom Hu Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu Imeru Amen. You may be seated. And if you have any background noise, you can mute yourself again. But other than that, you can stay unmuted while we share together in our final hymn, Adon Olam, which we can find on page 26. Again, our thanks to Kitty Glass for joining us and for sharing with us. And we join together in Adon Olam. Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'Teretz Yitzir Shira, Yein Nasa, B'Chesed Hazar Melech, Shabbat shalom, be happy.
Shabbat shalom.
Now we shall go into our next room and we will celebrate. So we ready for the Kiddush? We're going to go into our Kiddush room.
Yes, go to the Kiddush room.
That's not it.
No.
This is wrong. Is this it? No, that's not
it. No.
Baseball.
No.
How about this? Is that it? No.
No.
There we go.
Memories.
On the Kiddush room.
Sham Reuven Israel
Shabbat
Yashikor, Rabbi and Bonnie.
Thank you. I'm glad that, so did the kids come yet? They haven't come yet.
They're actually, I'm
close.
tracking
They're
them
close.
and they're very close.
Oh, good for you guys.
I would like everybody to know that my sister brought me the wine, so quite literally, the Kiddush was sponsored by the Sisterhood.
Rabbi, I have a question.
Yeah.
I thought the heads, the plate for the, because it was supposed to be ready, supposed to be a year, or is it sooner? The headstone.
That's, oh, I was,
Thank you, Becky. The tradition is anytime the first year, but anytime.
Because I know they have an email saying it's ready now, it's in place now. So I was curious about that.
Yeah, so as soon as they're ready, then anytime you want to go ahead and schedule it.
Okay. Okay, I just wanted to clear up that question.
Good, thank you.
Is there any, speaking of that, what Becky was asking, is there any law or rule about visiting the cemetery after your parents or a close loved one has passed away that you can't go back a certain amount of time?
Yes, the rabbis wanted to make sure we didn't make a shrine of the burial plot. And so they were very careful about allowing people back to the cemetery only a few times the first year. So like 2 or 3 times people can go back. And other than that, to remember that people are wherever we are and we remember them. So not to make an obsession of returning to the cemetery.
What happens if you're obsessed?
Pam.
Hi, Rabbi.
Yes, Fran.
Okay, I just didn't thank the whole committee. Everybody's thanking me. It's not me, it's the committee and the whole congregation. Okay, everybody is just outstanding. There's very teeny tempo, very tempo, eyes. Patience is a good word. Okay, so it's everybody who participates. And when I look at Linda Tapper, she doesn't remember me from many, many years ago when
I know you, Fran.
Oh, okay. We went to each other with Barbara Topper.
I can't hear you.
Well, Barbara Topper and I went to visit family members of yours.
Off if you wish.
So it's everything in the congregation who's this is all. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yes, we have a very active social action committee. It's wonderful. We had, I think, one of our largest groups today joining us for services.
Really? How many?
We
I
had,
know that we needed 31 screens, and so there must have been like 40.
about 40 people.
Oh, how neat.
Oh, that's a lot. Yeah.
Jordan, who are all the pistols that are on the screen?
Oh, my sister and Kayla and my nephew Buck, and then my other sister Lise, who is the sisterhood of my house that brought me the wine.
Thank you.
That the sister that works at Vaughn's?
I'm sorry?
That the sister that works at Vaughn's or your other sister? I know one of your sisters.
Kayla works at Vaughn's. Lise works for
market research.
Market research. Puts together focus groups, but unfortunately, apparently, I've been told we're all outside the demographics they're looking for.
It was nice to see Buck on the screen.
We're outside of the demographics of everything.
Yeah, we had so many screens, some people had to wait out in the lobby.
Oh, what else is new? What else is new?
Outside of the demographics, does that mean we're too old?
Um,
Sometimes.
and actually, apparently from the descriptions that Lise occasionally gives me of her, intake interviews with some of these people, we're too smart.
I like that better. A lot better.
What are some of you having for lunch? So you can give us some ideas.
Oh.
Are you having anything good?
That's
leftover from Passover.
That's the problem with the places are closed traditionally. Whenever we're in gather the family for to say Kaddish, either from my father or with my mom, with our grandparents and all, we then go to a deli afterwards. And while I sent my sister Kayla the link to the for the services, I said that there is no link to Weiler's Deli.
Too bad.
Rabbi, on Friday noon, I still go to Kosher Buffet for takeout. You can do takeout there. So I have for Friday afternoon and for Saturday afternoon. So I have lunch, I have my leftovers from Kosher Buffet.
Great idea. And you're supporting kosher food industry, and she's a lovely lady there, and that's nice.
Supporting the kosher wine industry.
I hope Sima gets a birthday cake today.
I think Steve has been baking all morning. He had to, that's why he was in and out a little bit.
Oh, Steve, you're muted.
You're muted. Space bar and talk at the same time. I think it works.
Right?
So, yeah, it's a new computer. And the keyboard must be very different from the millions of other keyboards around the world.
Yes, he left.
You hit the wrong button.
You're also lucky to have a Jewish deli in your area. And, what I give for a good Jewish deli. I'm lucky just to be able to get a challah at Trader Joe's. I mean, I'm thankful for that. But, got spoiled in the LA area when everything was right there available.
I will drink to that, Clara. Absolutely. We have the same thing here. They don't know what we are, who we are. You go to find a card at the store. Unless we went into Phoenix, then fine.
But don't
it's very
try
sad.
don't try and find one at Christian Hobby Lobby.
Yeah.
Give it time, there'll be one at IKEA soon enough.
But you'd have to put your sandwiches together yourself.
Right.
Which is not a bad idea.
Very funny.
A little more corned beef. No, a little more. And then use an Allen wrench to screw it down.
Nice. A lot of fiber.
Oh.
We were ordering our rye bread from Brent's, believe it or not, because we feel that they have the best, the double baked rye.
Wow.
And then we stopped doing that. And then I found rye at the local market and it was okay. And Richard says to me, that's really salty. And I thought, bread, salty? And then I took a bite of it and I realized, yeah, you're right. So no more of that. Back to, I don't know, square one again. But
yeah, we're able to get a good Jewish rye bread at Costco. And that's about it. But the Costco here does not have challah. So that we go to Trader Joe's for.
Well, the next time we go into the city, we will pick up the Brent twice baked rye.
Right. Which who knows when that's going to be. We should have a Costco like they do in our daughter's neighborhood where they have a whole kosher section. I mean, that is so cool.
It ain't happening.
Yeah, because Pavilions and Ralph's in Sherman Oaks, they have gigantic, whole Jewish section there. It's amazing, amazing.
All right, I'm gonna mute us, but we're not going away.
You can get so much at Amazon. I wonder if they can send us a Jewish house from
Amazon.
Try it. Try it.
Oh, I'm sure they do.
You
Same
enough
day
night
delivery.
candles there, so you could probably get it.
Yeah, we can, well, Vons actually has yurtside candles. So, you learn to find certain things, certain places, but it takes a search.
Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Bye, shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Thank you
Have a
for
good week.
having me.
Mom, say hello to your, give them a hug from us.
I wanted to show you, I have here the Oral Wheat Jewish rye bread. Delicious.
Pack of 4.
And where is that from?
You can get an Oral Wheat, they have it at a lot of the stores. You can get the set.
New York's finest bakery.
Yeah.
$30.
No. It's anywhere.
David looked it up on Amazon.
Yeah. Anyway.
A lot of bread.
Shabbat shalom to everybody. I'm so glad to see everybody.
Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Shabbat shalom.
Thank you,
everybody.
Rabbi and Bonnie. Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Thanks for
Bye.
tuning in.
Yes.
Stay well and have a good week.
You too.
Barbara, oh, you're gone. Okay, they're on their way, but it's a little late. They're right on our street.
Is it a real Jewish rye if you don't have to pick a number and wait? Can you just pick it up off a shelf and is it real?
Number 18, Chai.
One time at Bees, they were on like, it was just packed and they were like up to 27 or something, except it was B 27 and somebody picked up an A 27 and tried to get himself in service and it didn't work.
We go to Bees to get a seeded rye bread.
I'm gonna go make lunch. We'll see you all again. Be happy, be healthy. And, God bless you.
You too, Davida.
Bye.
Okay, we're waiting. So you're going to embarrass them, Janet, by bringing them in and saying hi to everybody. Is that right?
Wait, what?
Are you going to embarrass them by bringing them in to say hi to everybody?
No.
Okay.
If you don't mind waiting a second, because they were at the front gate and so they should be, they're like on the right. They're on the circle, which you don't know what I'm talking about, Barbara.
Barbara and Neil are back.
In the complex, as they say. Okay, Barbara, you're muted. Adam,
They're very close. They're like a minute away.
If that. Yeah, they're on Robeson Circle. Adam has a memory of Barbara and Neil from when he was 10 years old.
Okay.
Their dogs scared the heck out of him. And he has that memory from all that long time.
Oh, I feel terrible.
He says the dogs were so huge.
Wait, was that Roxanne and Josie? The two black ones?
Yeah.
Oh, they were so good.
And he was so afraid of dogs. And now he just loves dogs, but we just laugh about it because he took all these trips with them. And in fact, one trip we took, I didn't realize I was doing that. One trip we took, we were in New Mexico at the Acoma, what is it called? Pueblo. and we were driving and driving, and we saw a cow, and it started coming towards the car. He freaked. He rolled the windows up so fast. He's pulling in the driveway now. All right, I'm gonna go.
I feel terrible. We traumatized him. I didn't
Yes,
know.
tell him you're sorry for traumatizing him.
I'll show him Barney. He's blonde, different, calm.
Okay, wait a second. I'll be right back. I'm just gonna mute
Okay.
you for a second.
All right. I feel terrible. I didn't know.
No, I wouldn't suggest we go to them.
I had a terrible fear of dogs growing up.
Me too. I would go 10 blocks the other way if I saw one.
Until years ago when I was dating Marlene, and her dog was more terrified of me than Yogi was terrified of everything. And it get to the point where to take him outside to do his business, he would just go to the corner and would go no further.
Aww.
And then when Marlene moved to Vegas, and they lived in when the building boom was there, and when I went to visit, I kind of felt happy for Yogi, because now finally, for some reason, he considered the entire state of Nevada his own property, and he marked it on every occasion. But for what? He was no longer afraid to run out. So that was good for him.
They're not going to take off their masks.
And
They weren't even coming in because they didn't want to bring germs.
Well,
Hi, good
Hi.
to see you. You're making your grandparents very happy, us too.
You know, they can get closer to the screen.
Yeah,
They're not going to get germs.
Hi, everyone.
Hey.
Nice to see you guys.
Yeah.
Nice that you can visit your grandparents. Mazel tov on your engagement.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
A little longer than you thought, huh?
Yeah,
About
definitely.
a year longer than we thought.
Neil, question for you. Did you get my envelope?
You're muffled, Richard.
Neil.
Hear you.
Neil, did you get my envelope?
Huh?
Just yes or no.
I can't hear him.
We can't hear him.
Did you get the envelope?
Why is it's like almost like it's really low, like the volume is down or something?
Muffled. Did you get the envelope? She's asking.
Oh,
Me?
She's asking Neil if he got the envelope.
Oh,
The envelope.
That's what she said.
Not yet. Not yet. I have not
Bye.
been.
Thanks. Have a wonderful week.
okay.
I have not been nominated
Yes.
for an Oscar. No envelope yet.
I meant to ask the crowd, has anybody had the second shot?
We get ours a week from Tuesday.
Okay. Because I'm hearing there's a little bit of an issue with it. Everybody seems, Marla got her second one Tuesday.
And did
Here was her story. She was fine at first, but by the nighttime, she said she had the chills that Chovab couldn't put enough blankets on her.
Wow.
Then she went to sleep and she felt not so good. And in the morning, she woke up and felt she needed to cancel because she wasn't right in her head. But by the end of the day, she was fine.
Oh, good.
That's what we've been hearing.
Yeah. And Neil has a friend, more our age, and she felt weird in the middle of the night, but woke up in the morning and went on with her day. So I think that's what it sounds like, a little something.
Right.
Achy.
That means it's working.
Right.
Yeah, I've heard of not such good stories, but there's been some underlying health issues.
Right.
Yeah, not such good stuff.
Right. I think those are the people having harder reactions.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we're okay. We should be good.
Well, good luck with your second one.
When is yours?
The 23rd.
Okay, and we're close. We haven't gotten our date, but we're like the last Friday of the month.
Yeah.
So a few days after you, actually.
Right.
So good luck. Don't tell us if there's anything. Okay.
Wonderful.
That's what we want to hear.
That's what I want to hear.
All
right.
Have a good
Shabbat
night.
shalom.
Everybody.
Have a nice
Bye-bye.
lunch.
Bye, Fran.
Bye, Fran. Thank you. It was a great program.
Yeah,
Kitty's
very
wonderful.
nice.
Thank you so much.